Snow potential across the southeast this weekend. That's what we need to discuss today. And I know many of you have been watching this pattern develop all week. Right now, conditions across the country are setting up for what could be a significant winter weather event for parts of the Carolinas and Georgia. But as always with southern snow, the details matter. The margin between a good snowfall and nothing at all comes down to just a few degrees and 100 miles. Let me walk you through what we are seeing in the data, what the models are showing, and most importantly, what you can expect in your specific area. The current situation is this. We have Arctic air that has already pushed into the high plains. Eastern Colorado saw temperatures drop to 17 degrees this morning with wind chills around 5 degrees. That's the cold air mass we are tracking. Meanwhile, across the Gulf Coast from Texas through Louisiana and into Mississippi, conditions have been warm and humid. Temperatures running 10 to 15 degrees above normal. Mississippi dealt with severe weather and tornado warnings this morning. That warm, unstable air is still in place. South Carolina has been experiencing rainy conditions with near-record warmth this week. That changes dramatically starting Sunday. The contrast between what you re-feeling now and what's coming is substantial. Moving to the technical setup. We have a strong high-pressure system centered over the northern plains. This is funneling Arctic air southward. At the same time, we rewatch a low-pressure system that will develop along the Gulf Coast and track northeastward. The interaction between these two systems determines who sees snow and who doesn't, and that's where the models start to disagree. Let's look at the GFS model first. The global forecast system has been aggressive with snow across the interior southeast. The latest run shows accumulating snow from northern Georgia through the Carolinas. We're talking about a swath of 2 to 5 inches across central South Carolina, parts of North Carolina, Piedmont, and isolated higher amounts in favored locations. The GFS brings the low pressure further northwest. This pulls moisture over colder air. The result on the model is widespread snow Sunday into Monday. Now compare that to the European model. The ECMWF takes a different approach. It keeps the low pressure system further south and east. This solution favors coastal areas. The Euro shows the heaviest snow from the South Carolina coast through eastern North Carolina. Interior areas see much less. Some areas that get significant snow on the GFS get nothing on the Euro. That 100 to 150 mile difference in who sees the heaviest snow. And in winter weather forecasting for the South, that difference is everything. The NAM model, the North American Mesoscale model, splits the difference somewhat. It is showing a more compact area of heavier snow, primarily focused on the South Carolina Midlands and portions of central North Carolina. The NAM has been consistent with this solution over the past several runs. What do we make of these differences? Here's my assessment. The pattern is favorable for snow somewhere in the southeast. The ingredients are there. Arctic air is in place. Moisture is available from the Gulf. The timing allows for the two to interact, but the exact track of that low-pressure system is still uncertain. And with southern snow, the track is everything. 50 miles too far south and you get rain that changes to snow too late. 50 miles too far north and you get all snow but the heaviest amounts shift northward. This is not unusual. Many of you remember similar setups. The blizzard of 1993, the snowstorm of January 2000, the surprise snow of December 2010. All of these events showed model disagreement right up until the day before. In fact, last January, we saw a similar situation. Models were flip-flopping on snow for the southeast. Some runs showed significant accumulation. Other runs showed almost nothing. Then, about 36 hours before the event, the models locked in, and areas of northern Florida and southern Georgia saw their biggest snow in years. The point is this. We're still 2 full days away from the main event. That's enough time for the forecast to change. Either direction, better or worse. Let me break down what each region should expect based on current data, and I will give you my confidence level for each area. Starting with northern Georgia, the Atlanta metro area has been on the edge of this system all week. Right now, the most likely scenario is that Atlanta sees mainly rain with perhaps a changeover to snow Sunday evening. Accumulation would be minimal, if any. Snow lovers in Atlanta, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but the Euro model has been more reliable lately, and it keeps the heavier snow well to your east. Moving to South Carolina. This is where it gets more interesting. The South Carolina Midlands, including the Columbia area, sits right in the zone of maximum disagreement between models. The GFS wants to dump 2 to 4 inches here. The Euro gives you mainly rain changing to light snow. The NAM shows 1 to 3 inches. If you in the Columbia area, here's what I am watching. The track of the low. If it comes ashore near Charleston and tracks just inland, you are in good shape for accumulating snow. If it stays offshore or tracks through Savannah, you'll see mainly rain. South Carolina coast from Charleston to Myrtle Beach. The Euro model has been most bullish on this area. 2 to 6 inches possible, especially north of Charleston. The timing would be Sunday afternoon through Monday morning. Temperatures are marginal, upper 20s to lower 30s, but if precipitation rates are heavy enough, accumulation will occur. Myrtle Beach area specifically. You had snow last January. 2 years in a row would be unusual, but not unprecedented. The pattern favors you more than areas inland. Watch for the forecast to come into better focus by Saturday morning. North Carolina Piedmont, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Charlotte area. This region has been snake-bitten with southern snow in recent years. Always just on the wrong side of the line. Currently, models show a wide range here. Everything from a dusting to 3 inches. Charlotte specifically has the warm soil problem. UV had temperatures in the 50s and 60s this week. The ground is not frozen. First inch or two of snow will have trouble sticking. If you do see accumulation, it'll be on elevated surfaces first. Roads may stay wet initially. Eastern North Carolina, Raleigh, Fayetteville, Wilmington corridor. The coastal plain of North Carolina sits in a challenging spot. Too far south for the northern stream systems, too far north for Gulf lows sometimes. This event has potential here, but the Euro solution is more favorable than the GFS. Raleigh area, you right on the rain-snow line in most model runs. A shift of 30 miles changes everything. Temperature profiles show you borderline. Surface temps around 32 to 34 degrees. Expect a mix to start, possibly changing to all snow Sunday evening if the system trends slightly northwest, Wilmington and the coast. Better chance for accumulating snow than Raleigh. The coastal areas often do better with these Gulf systems when they track just right. 2 to 4 inches is possible if the Euro solution verifies. Now let us talk about North Carolina mountains. Asheville, Boone, western areas. Here's the frustrating part for you. This system doesn't favor the mountains. The dynamics are wrong. These Gulf lows often produce their heaviest snow in the Piedmont and coastal plain, not the higher elevations. You might see flurries or light snow, but significant accumulation is unlikely with this particular system. I know that's disappointing for mountain residents. You were used to getting the snow, but this isn't a northwest flow event. This is a coastal low. Different dynamics, Virginia and the mid-Atlantic. This system doesn't look particularly good for you. The moisture stays too far south. You'll get the cold air certainly. Wind chills Sunday and Monday will be in the teens and 20s, but the precipitation shield stays south of you. Tidewater, Virginia might see some snow showers on the back end Sunday night, but we are talking light accumulation at best. The main show is further south. Let me address timing more specifically, because this matters for preparation and travel. Saturday during the day, conditions across the southeast are quiet. Clouds increase during the afternoon. Temperatures drop into the upper 30s and lower 40s. The cold air is moving in, but precipitation hasn't arrived yet. Saturday night into early Sunday morning, rain begins across southern Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. This is still all rain at this point. Temperatures are too warm for snow. The rain spreads northward through the morning, Sunday morning through midday. Rain continues across South Carolina and southern North Carolina. Northern areas might start to see a mix. The changeover line slowly moves from north to south as colder air filters in aloft. Sunday afternoon and evening. This is the critical period. If you are going to see accumulating snow, this is when it happens. The precipitation should be at its heaviest. If temperatures drop fast enough, snow rates could reach 1 inch per hour in heavier bands. Sunday night into Monday morning. Precipitation winds down from west to east. Any lingering snow showers end by Monday midday. Then we were left with very cold air for Monday night into Tuesday. Now confidence levels. I need to be honest about what we know and what we don't know. High confidence. Arctic air arrives Sunday. Temperatures drop significantly. Monday and Tuesday will be very cold for the southeast. Lows in the teens inland, 20s at the coast. Wind chills in the single digits for some areas. High confidence. Precipitation occurs Sunday into Monday. Everyone from northern Georgia through the Carolinas sees precipitation. Whether it's rain, snow, or a mix depends on location. Medium confidence, the exact track of the low-pressure system. The models are still in disagreement. This will become clearer over the next 24 hours. Medium to low confidence. Specific snow amounts for any given location. Too much uncertainty in the track. Snow amounts could vary by 3 to 5 inches over a distance of 30 miles. What should you do to prepare? Let's be practical about this. First, if you're replanning travel Sunday or Monday across the southeast, have a backup plan. Even if you don't see significant snow, you might see ice. Bridges and overpasses freeze first. Early morning Monday could be particularly hazardous. For those in coastal South Carolina and eastern North Carolina where snow is more likely, standard winter weather preparation applies. Make sure you have food and supplies for a couple days, not because we're expecting a blizzard, but because snow in the south often means power outages. Trees still have leaves in some areas. Wet, heavy snow can bring down branches. Check on elderly neighbors and family members, especially those who might lose power. Temperatures Monday night drop into the teens. That is dangerous if you don't have heat. If you're in Florida, particularly the Panhandle, this is mainly a cold event for you. You might see a few snowflakes Sunday evening, but accumulation is unlikely except possibly in the far western Panhandle. The cold, however, is legitimate. Protect plants and pets. If you have outdoor water pipes, take precautions. For those in Georgia, this is more of a cold rain event transitioning to perhaps some light snow. Atlanta and northern Georgia, don't expect much. Southern Georgia near the Florida line has a slightly better chance, but even there, we are talking about minor accumulation at best. Carolina's residents, you have the best chance for measurable snow, but where exactly remains to be determined. Don't make irreversible plans based on current forecasts. Check again Saturday. The picture will be much clearer. A word about historical context. Snow in the southeast is challenging to forecast, always has been. The meteorology is complex. You are dealing with warm ocean waters to the south and east, Arctic air trying to push down from the north, marginal temperatures, dynamic cooling that models struggle to capture. In January of 2000, Raleigh got over 20 inches of snow when forecasts called for much less. The system overperformed dramatically. In December of 2010, the opposite happened. Big snow was predicted, it fell apart. Last January, as I mentioned, we had a surprise snow across the deep south. Northern Florida, southern Georgia, areas that rarely see snow got accumulating snow. The models didn't lock onto that solution until very late. My point is this: southern snow is inherently uncertain until you were within 36 to 48 hours. We are at that window now. By Saturday evening, we'll have much better information. One more technical point. Watch for dynamic cooling Sunday afternoon. If we get heavy precipitation rates, the air column can cool faster than models indicate. That is how you get surprise accumulation. Conversely, warm ground temperatures can prevent sticking even when air temperatures are below freezing. South Carolina and North Carolina have had temperatures in the 50s and 60s this week. Soil temperatures are well above freezing. First inch or two of snow will melt on contact with the ground. You need sustained snowfall to overcome that warm ground. Looking beyond this event, the pattern supports additional winter weather chances through late January and into February. We're re-entering a favorable phase. The polar vortex is showing signs of weakening. That typically means cold air outbreaks and storm potential for the eastern United States. So even if this particular system doesn't deliver for your area, there will be other chances. The pattern is not locked into a warm, snowless regime. What happens after this system moves through? Very cold air settles in for several days. Monday night into Tuesday morning, many areas see their coldest temperatures of the winter so far. Teens inland, 20s at the coast. Wind chills in the single digits. That cold air mass lingers through Wednesday. Then we moderate slightly, but we don't return to the mild pattern we've had recently. We stay in a cooler than normal regime. Another system might approach by the following weekend. Too early for details, but worth monitoring. Bottom line for this weekend's event: ingredients are in place for snow across parts of the southeast. The exact locations that see the heaviest snow are still uncertain. Models disagree on track. Track determines everything with these systems. Coastal South Carolina and eastern North Carolina have the best chance currently. Interior areas are more questionable. Northern Georgia likely misses out on significant snow. Check forecasts again Saturday. That's when we'll have much better information. The overnight model runs tonight and tomorrow morning will be critical. Don't panic. Don't ignore it either. Prepare reasonably, have supplies, adjust travel plans if needed, check on vulnerable family and neighbors. And remember, snow in the south is exciting but also hazardous. We don't have the infrastructure or experience that northern states have. A few inches here causes more disruption than 6 inches in Pennsylvania. That is just reality. For those hoping for snow, I understand the anticipation. Winter weather is rare enough in the southeast that each opportunity feels special. Kids want to build snowmen. Adults want to see the landscape transformed. That is natural. But manage expectations. This might deliver. It might not. We'll know more soon. I'll continue monitoring the models and provide updates as the forecast evolves. The next 24 to 36 hours are critical for locking down details. Stay safe, stay informed, and don't make any decisions you can reverse until we have better information. That is the situation as it stands right now. Arctic air is coming, precipitation is coming. Whether they combine to produce significant snow for your area depends on details we're still working out. Check back for updates.